Hello, everybody, and welcome to Critical Thinking. And I promise you right off the bat, and my name is Dr. Todd Eller, I will be doing everything I can to share with you scientific information that will absolutely help you become more successful in your classes and hopefully in your life. This isn't just out of my brain, but it will be information that I think that you can truly use that will make you more successful in your career, in your personal life, and with your relationships. So, getting started. Let's take a look at this. So, how to do the class. Some of you have had questions about how to do this online class. I'll be covering that. How to look at Blackboard and assignments for week one, and some of the dangers of online learning that I don't want you to fall into the trap of. So, moving on. Let's first talk about stress. For every single one of my classes and for you, very important, this is a stressful time. I get it. I understand it. It is something that we all have to deal with. We're being quarantined. We are dealing with this awful coronavirus, and stress actually changes the brain. As you can see from this graph here, that it actually shrinks brain networks. I'm going to give you some strategies on how to reduce stress that I hope will work for you. But let's first take a look at the problem. Okay, the coronavirus is happening. The CDC has changed their attitude about masks. Wear one if you're outdoors, if you can, or some kind of improvisation when it comes to the mask. Uh, Also, older individuals do have a more compromised immune system. However, younger individuals can be harmed as well. So just do know that, none of us are out of danger when it comes to this, which is the bad news. But here's something that we haven't thought of before. We need to get a flu shot if we're healthy. Now, don't get a flu shot if you're sick. That can make things not work. But the flu shot will not protect you from corona. But you don't want to get the flu and corona. And if you get the flu, it will reduce your immune system. That will make you more susceptible to corona. If you get corona, you don't want to get the flu. So we don't want to get multiple illnesses regardless. So if you can, if it's safe, you can go somewhere to your doctor or what have you and get a flu shot. If you're healthy, then that may not be a bad idea. Obviously, the social distancing, which I know you folks know about. And here's the final thing, and this is very, very important. We're hearing all kinds of messages from many different people, regardless of whether you're Democrat or Republican, regardless of what your beliefs are. Do know that politicians and the news media, most of them are not doctors. You are in the medical field, okay? So for you to listen to politicians or even your friends who are not doctors or who are not nurses, to listen to blogs or even the social media can be apocryphal. So listen to this. The Center for Disease Control. These are the scientists and doctors who are the number one specialist in the world at preventing disease. Go online daily for 2 minutes. See what the updates are. Takes 2 minutes. Just that. See what they have to say. Follow their recommendations. Don't listen to swimming experts that have never been in the water. I have so many friends. Hey, Todd, I heard you're supposed to wear a mask. You're not supposed to wear a mask. Some states are quarantined and some states aren't. What should I listen to? Go to the Center for Disease Control website. Do what they say. It's probably the best thing you can do. Okay, moving on. So, America likes to freak out, and I'm not saying this isn't a bad time, but I'm just saying that we are not alone in this in terms of this happening in the past. Typhoid Mary, polio, AIDS, swine flu, SARS, and now we have corona. It started off with 112 deaths, now it's up to 1.19 million, and I understand that's very scary. But plagues have happened in the past. We got control of it. These things happen. I'm not saying corona doesn't have some novel stuff about it. I'm saying that's happened in the past, and we can get through it. Okay? So, we also don't seem to freak out as much that other things do kill us. Cigarettes, drinking, car accidents, even lightning kills a few people. So, these things happen. They're horrible, they're awful, they're terrible. But we weren't freaking out about that, but we're freaking out now. And there's reasons to freak out, but when you freak out and you increase your stress, you're actually lowering your immune system. It doesn't help. It doesn't help your immune system to do that. Okay? So try to stay calm and do know that there are things that you can do. Now, you can, you can do self help. There are 670,000 books on self help on Amazon. There are TV programs, millions of websites. There's pharmaceuticals that you can take to lower your stress. That's all well and good, but are they really helping? We could debate that all day, but here are some things that you can immediately do that may be beyond this. Okay? First of all, know that we're still not living in the worst time. These are my grandparents, God rest their soul, and when they were children, they didn't have aspirin. They did not have antibiotics. They did not have refrigerators. They did not have indoor plumbing. They didn't have grocery stores. They didn't have restaurants where they grew up. It's true, they grew up in the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina. There were no restaurants. They didn't have electricity. But they did have the Great Depression. And they spoke to me again and again about how they were happy in their childhood. They were happy in spite of the fact that they didn't have any of these things. Of course, they didn't know what they were. They weren't really invented yet in their area. But they managed to be happy. Yes, we're isolated. Yes, we're quarantined. But at least we have electricity. At least we have power. Sometimes we get too, blinded by the things that we actually do have. If they manage to be happy, we can as well. Okay? The bad news is that mental illness is increasing. 50% of us will suffer mental illness in our lifetime. That's even before the coronavirus occurred. And America is no longer the richest middle class country in the world. These are the facts and figures about mental illness. So it's depressing, but also know that if you are suffering in some way, you are not alone. It's natural. It's not something to be afraid of, but we can attack it, okay? So here are the facts and figures that happen when we are stressed in the brain. And the main one I want you to take a look at is that cortisol is a stress hormone that stays in your system all day long. And that is what is causing you to feel stress, is that particular type of hormone. And it does increase blood pressure and can have ill effects on your health. It is also considered public enemy number one, according to Psychology Today. All right? And even before coronavirus came into play, stress was reducing profits for companies. So it even has a financial impact. All right? Now, here's the main thing I want you to do or think about in terms of reducing stress. In martial arts, the rear neck choke is considered probably the worst position to be in. If somebody's got you in a rear neck choke, that is bad. You need to fight like crazy to get out of it. Lack of sleep is your rear neck choke. It's actually been used as a form of torture in certain societies. Now, what can you do to get better sleep? If your sleep is fine, then fantastic. But I guarantee you know somebody who has problems sleeping. About half of Americans have problems sleeping, according to the National Sleep Foundation. Number one, are you eating? Even if you don't feel like eating because you're stressed, force yourself to eat at least 3 meals a day. If you're too hungry, you are not going to be able to sleep. Your brain is going to say, hey, I'm hungry, can't sleep. Caffeine stays in your body for over a day. The less caffeine you drink, the better off you are. We can't sleep, so we drink caffeine, then we can't sleep, we drink caffeine, it becomes a vicious cycle. Exercise. I'll get to that in a little bit. Here are some supplements that you can consider. If you've tried exercise, you've tried, eating right, you're still not sleeping, then maybe you could take melatonin, the sleep hormone. You can get that from Amazon. You can also get calcium lactate, magnesium chloride, or finally, Phenibut. It's not a very pleasant sounding word, but these are supplements that help you sleep according to the studies that have been done by the National Institutes of Health. Now, I'm not saying take all of these supplements. Maybe take one. See if that works. If that doesn't work, then you can take another. You can do a test on yourself. They are non-prescription. You can give them a try. If noise bothers you like it does me, you can run a fan to drown out the noise at night. Either a new mattress if it's dirty, or vacuum your mattress. Say, vacuum your mattress? Isn't that weird? No. Vacuuming your mattress is very, very smart. We shed like snakes, believe it or not. Your mattress can get a lot of, you know, dander, dust mites, and things of nature like that, and it can harm your allergies and your sinuses. Vacuum your mattress. Make sure your room is clean. Okay? Keep technology outside of your room. Clean the house if you're awake. I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. So watching TV, getting on your cell phone when you can't sleep is actually counterproductive. It'll keep you awake longer. Do something boring, do something mundane like cleaning your house if you can't sleep. Finally, Relora. Relora you can take during the day. It's not a sleep supplement, but it's a natural pill made from natural substances that reduces the stress hormone. I'm a big believer in it. It reduces cortisol in your system, makes you feel less stressed. Okay, what else can you do? Stay in touch with your friends and family. We're not meant to be isolated. This is very, very important. Stay in touch with your friends and family. Okay? Number next, when you do friends and family, there are many programs. And I just heard about this last week called House Party and other things. You can do whatever you want, but apparently House Party is one of these programs online that you can do a conference call with friends and family, and you guys can do activities and games and have fun. Yes, it's great to just talk, but sometimes just, doing stuff online that's active. It keeps you engaged. Exercise. I can't exercise. I'm in my house. Yes, you can. You can do standing squats. There are a million videos on YouTube, aerobics videos that you can exercise with. You can do shadow boxing. Exercising at least 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week gets your blood pumping. It reduces stress, increases endorphins. It's going to make you feel better, and it helps your sleep. Okay? Work. Having a good work schedule. So the danger is, and I talked about this earlier, the dangers of online and the dangers of working from home. I'm working from home, I'll do it when I feel like it. It's 10,000 times better to have a schedule, to say, hey, this is when I'm going to do the work for Dr. Eller's class. This is when I'm going to do the work for my speech class. This is when I'm going to do the work for my physiology class. Have a schedule and stick to it. Makes you feel better and it saves you time. Walking around. You can go outside, walk with masks, walk, with distance, with social distancing, getting some fresh air or jogging. Have a pretend date. Okay? Having a pretend date is very, very productive for couples living together. You can't go out, you can't go to the movies. Pretend that your table's a restaurant. Serve each other, dress up, watch a movie on your television. Mix things up. Pretend play that's innocent and fun has been shown to really help relationships. Meditation. I put this in a separate frame for a reason. It's not touchy-feely. It's not just guru nonsense. It is proven through brain scan technology, and the reference is right there. UCLA did studies on meditation. It changes the way our brain is working. It reduces stress. It helps us sleep. And meditation is as simple as being in a dark room, maybe lighting a candle, silently breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and you can play soft music if you like, but do it for 10 or 15 minutes at least. It helps you sleep, it helps you stay calm, it helps with stress. Also, take your vitamins if you can. You can get multivitamins on Amazon. It helps our immune system. Okay? Now, I want you to take a look at these 10 success strategies. One of the things I want you to do on Blackboard, and I'll put this on the discussion board, is introduce yourselves. On the discussion board, tell us a little bit about who you are and what your goals happen to be. One of the other things I want you to include in your discussion board is look at these success strategies. Sleep, diet, exercise, reducing bad habit, humor, laughter, time management, money management, increasing intimacy, change, create, or end a relationship, or doing for others. Which one of these would you like to improve on the most? You don't have to go into any personal details about it, but when you introduce yourself, say, hey, this is a success strategy that I really would like to improve on the most. Laughter. I separate this out because we often forget about it. there is a study on laughter. It's called gelotology. It has been shown through studies, and if you want to look at the evidence, you can type in Scientific American Gelotology in Google. Laughter reduces our blood pressure. Laughter decreases stress. It makes us feel better. It releases endorphins. It can even help us sleep. So for this, there might be a commercial at the beginning of the video, so forgive me if that happens. I'll skip it as soon as I can. I want to show you something that will be very, very quick. And let's get through the commercial. 1 second. Okay, so figuring out a way to laugh. What makes you laugh? When you introduce yourself on a discussion board, talk about a laugh strategy. Do you need to call somebody who makes you laugh? Do you need to look at a YouTube video? Do you need to play a joke on somebody? What is it that you need to do to make yourself laugh? If you're not having a laugh per day, I feel bad for you. One guy told me he hasn't laughed in 6 months. I feel really bad for him. Laughter is key. It is important. It is something of substance. And do that. Okay? So, moving on. Week 1 for your assignment. This is in your blackboard. Okay? So, I'm just repeating it right now. Consider the terms knowledge, truth, and belief. What do these terms mean to you? Okay? Why do you think these concepts will be important in this class? All right? So this is a discussion prompt. I want you to say this in your discussion section. All right? Has the other instructions in Blackboard. They're right here. I won't read the whole thing. I know you know how to read. So start discussing that as well. For week 2, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about week 2 because this is a bit of getting, ahead of the curve. By week 2, I want you to have submitted a paper. Now, some of you are going to say, well, at one section it said 2 pages, the other section it said 4. Go ahead and do 2 pages, APA format, and you choose one of these topics, okay? And the other instructions on how to complete this paper are in Blackboard, but basically you choose one of these topics and you write a 2-page paper on it, APA format, okay? And submit it on Blackboard. Do not plagiarize because we have a plagiarism checker, okay? So just please don't do that. But write that if you want to get ahead of the curve for week 2. Okay? That is it. Thank you very much. Now, check your discussion board. Please stay safe, and we will speak soon.